Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. From 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Well,
looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full-color illustrations, plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Into the Night with Shawn Kelly and Tara again. I don't know, she's doing okay. I think she got a new job or something like that, and so we'll see how her schedule goes, and we'll go from there. My gosh, I have all these comments in my thing. Holy mackerel! Hi, Cybele, Johnny, Virginia. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming and watching the show tonight. So we are on, well, I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you. Oh, blush, see the little red stuff coming up. Thank you. And we're in 107.7 Mississippi. Yeah, New Orleans is a beautiful place. That's where UPRN Talk Radio, the show, is located. But Montaldo, he's the one that runs the station, and we have a lot of good guests. We got a lot of good shows. We got a lot of good hosts who really know their stuff, what they want to do, and how they talk about it, and they get awesome guests. And so if you're not busy like during the week, and if you want to listen to a good show, just pop on to UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans and check out a show. You will be utterly surprised on how good they are. Before I go on, I have a couple announcements. When I start the show, okay, come October 21st, it's a Saturday night from 7 to 9. It's a special show. I'm going to have Virginia. She's in the chat room, and Johnny Freeman too. And we're going to have a show on Saturday night. The deal is behind that. October 31st is a Tuesday. So what you're in for a big surprise is that hey, Tony, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, pal. October 31st is a Tuesday, so we're having a big Halloween special show with all the hosts of UPRN Talk Radio. So I'm going to be on there with the rest of my friends up there. So on that day, so we're going to do pretty good. So how was Denise? Shawn, I've been so busy. I haven't listened in forever. Hope you're well. Denise, I am. I hope you're doing well. I was wondering about you, Denise, and just wondering if you were okay. It's good to see you in the chat room, and yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. So Denise, I was listening to a couple old Irish songs, Tommy Makin's Four Green Fields and Whiskey in the Jar. This brings back memories. As you could tell, this is Halloween season, okay? But you know what? I'm really seriously looking forward to St. Patrick's Day because, that's my day. You can just throw everything out the door, 100% Irish because I am Irish. But you know what? Did one of them DNA things, ancestry.com, I think it was. And here I come to find out that on my father's side, I have relatives that were from Poland. And what else? Where else was it? Slovakia. Yeah, check that out, huh? And it's like, wow, because it just seems like growing up being Irish all the time, it was crazy. The Irish parades, we, dressed up in green and white and went out and got drunk and all kinds of stuff. So I'm kind of really seriously looking forward to St. Patrick's Day. Boy, we're getting a real nice turnout. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming in. So, how's everybody's week? How was everybody's week? I tell you what, it was a crazy week. I'm not really going to express how I feel what is happening over in the Middle East at the beginning of the show. But at the end of like from 9:30 to 10, I'm going to share how I feel. But for now, all I ask you, if you can pray for everybody over there in Israel and in Palestine, because, a lot of good people over there, and just a few bad apples really cause a bunch of crap. Denise McConnell says, lots of ghosts and mysteries in Ireland. Maybe an idea for a future show. Oh, absolutely, Denise, definitely. And it's funny that you said that because I'm thinking doing a show on Irish castles and the hauntings of Irish castles. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, definitely. There's a lot of Irish stuff going on that is paranormal, and I was doing a little bit of research about. I was doing research on Halloween and how it originally started. Okay, and come to find out, it started in Ireland, right? Because the Gaelic people, they celebrated Samhain. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. And what they would do is they would go to a bonfire, and at that time they did not have pumpkins. Did you know that? They used turnips, as jack o' lanterns. And Johnny Freeman says, have a friend takes groups every year to Ireland. Cool. When I was in the service, I actually got to go over to Ireland. I was stationed in Scotland, and I got to see Wales in England, so it's really, really beautiful over there. I really enjoyed it. But I did not know that Samhain or Halloween started over in Ireland. But this, like I was going over my notes before I started the show tonight, and I wasn't sure, but I think what happened was this guy by the name of Jack. Thank you, Sal. Appreciate it. And he made a deal with the devil about, something. I don't know. And his penalty for that was to walk the earth for the rest of his life. And he asked the devil for some light, and he gave him a pumpkin with a light in it, with fire in it. So it's like, wow, it was interesting. And later on, come to find out that they really don't have no special things that go on over in Ireland with the Halloween. They do some trick or treating just like they do here. People get dressed up and stuff like that. And they go out and, the adults get dressed up and go to a bar and, they just have fun, make asses out of themselves. But you know what? It's okay for a day like that. Halloween and St. Patrick's Day, you can do that, because like they say though, especially St. Pat, everybody is St. Patrick's Day, so. And it's crazy, and I'm going to share a little bit of this before I get into what I want to, talk about my stuff. Was I remember one time my son and my mom, they took Kaylee dancing, all right, and it was dancing. What dance is what they did, stuff like that. Gary says, "Hi, Shawn, not staying here. Got to watch the Pens now." Hey, listen, Gary, thank you for popping in, dude. I hope they win. I really seriously like what they have this year for their team. I really do. But we'll see what happens. But my brother, my son, and my mom, they took up Haley, something like dancing. Denise did it too. She's here. And so one time they have usually a scene. Thank you, buddy. Keep me posted on that. Appreciate it. Um, and they had a big dance around St. Patrick's Day, and you know everybody's dressed up like they're wearing their green "Kiss Me I'm Irish" pennants and their their pens, and everybody's just dressed in green and white. And you see a bunch of people that weren't dressed up in green and white. They might have a little shamrock on their lapel of some sort. You know, and and come to find out, the people who would just stand around and weren't dressed up in green, but with that little Irish lapel on their collar were actually the Irish, the ones that were in green and white. They were from a different ethnic group. So but everyone had a good time, and that's what it's all about. Um, I wish right now at this very moment that I couldn't see so much anger. I don't want to see so much anger. I want everybody to be happy. But you know what? In today's world, it's so hard to do that. Really, really, really hard. Um, and there's a lot of anger. There's a lot. It's ridiculous. I mean, no matter what you do, you turn on the news. There's always bad. There is nothing freaking good. Nothing good at all. And I tell you what, it's morally depressing. And I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, like I do. But it just brings a lot of pain and hurt, and really not know what the future lies ahead for everybody. I don't know what it lies for me. Johnny, I wish I could. That's great that you don't watch the news anymore. I try my damnedest, but it just seems it's like calling me. Honestly, today the news is like a drug, you know. But I don't want to get into the news either, because I don't want to get into ABC, NBC, CBS, because they, yes, we do, Virginia. Virginia says we need to raise our vibrations, and that is so true. Because, like I have told this on my show for a long time, and I will continue to do it, talk about it. Everyone, the world is a bad, miserable place, and what you're doing is when you get miserable and you get angry and you get mad and you hurt and you cry. Um, all these feelings that are inside you, all this energy, this negative energy is inside you. And what it's doing is releasing that into the universe. Okay. And imagine everybody in the world feeling all this negativity out there. My God, it's just like we're drenched in it. I mean, there's times I go out after work or I go to work, and you could just feel the negativity out there in the air. Full blown negativity. You know what I mean? That's true, Johnny. People do have to help people. You know, Virginia says collective consciousness. Yes, and with all that negativity out there, swear to God, there's no brightness, no sunshine, nothing like that coming in. And that's what we need. You know, and I keep hoping and I keep praying that one day, okay, um, that everybody be happy, Now, with all the people in my chat room tonight, who are listening to the show, Johnny, Virginia, Sybil, and then the rest of the people that are in here, this is good energy here. So if you want to soak in some good energy, this is the place right here, because they are good people. They are good. They have good vibes. But for the rest of the world out there, we need to, just have one day of happiness, and will it come? Maybe. Well, who knows? But hopefully that one day, everybody in the world will be okay. But the way it looks like it, most of us, it's just not going to happen. But I pray every day that it will happen. I really do. But so that's how my day's going. And my week. My week was blah, but I did have good conversation with Johnny in Virginia last night, and I listened to Virginia and Johnny's show that they have on Facebook, and they're very into it too. Very, very into it. Yes, they are. So very, very awesome people. Yeah, I mean, between the both of them, they can light up the whole East Coast with all positivity. You know what I mean? Which is like really cool. You know, but we need more people like that out in the world today. We need a lot more people like that today, and it will come. May, maybe this is one big hiccup that's out there right now. One big hiccup could be. Maybe we all need to take a drink of water and get rid of the hiccups, or do whatever you got to do whenever you know, got hiccups. Do you hold your breath? Do you drink water? What do you do? Well, whatever you do, maybe everybody should do what they do in order not to have that hiccup. Maybe, and then maybe you'll get smooth sailing again. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Someone called me Yosemite Sam the other day. Okay. I was laughing like, what the hell are you calling me that for? Look at my beard, guys, right? It's like, if you go out like that, I look like Yosemite Sam. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of a joke here, but when they told me, but you know what? It brought a little happiness inside my heart. You know what I mean? It really, really did. So as we go on today, along with the show, what is everybody's traditions that they do for Halloween? Um, when I was growing up, get dressed up, go out and got candies, and went around in those old Halloween costumes with the plastic mask and stuff like that, and go out and have some fun. But I remember we had a tradition that we always ate pizza before we went out. I mean, and we still do that. Johnny Freeman says he's just Santa. That's cool. I'm going to tell you a little story, a good-hearted story about what happened to me and my brother down at Eaton Park on Banksville Road the other day. Well, it's a while back, but I want to share it with you. That's cool, Sybil. Sybil says, I'm not Wiccan, but my family are witches, and we celebrate it. And that's great. I know, and I am dear friends with a lot of witches out there. They're very good people. I enjoy. They do know how to have a good time. They sure. They're funny, but you know what? They're very serious about the religion. Um, but they're very serious about it. But you know what? It's okay. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you believe in, that gives you that little spark of happiness that makes you go through your days. Go with it. Some are Wiccans, some are Buddhists, some people are Catholics, other people are spiritualists. Whatever makes you happy, go for it. Go for it. And use it. Use what you believe in, and it usually does work a lot. But there's also a couple other times in my life where I know that My person, my guy that I talk to is God. Um, and he, but there's a lot of times where, I kind of like turn it over to him, to help me out, but of course that three-letter word, EGO, the ego gets into the way. Hi, Debbie Freeman. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Debbie, I want you to meet Johnny, Virginia, Cybele, a couple other people in there. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. But the ego gets in the way, and it's like, in my wife's room. But that's for another show. But yeah, that's our traditions. And it's crazy, for the one where I live in Pittsburgh. I mean, we get over 150 kids on Halloween night. And sometimes there's more than 150. Sometimes there's like less than 150, but usually on the night we get about 150. And so we have a lot of fun with it. We eat the pizza. And then when I was young, dumb, and stupid, thank you, Virginia. Thank you very much. I'm blushing. Oh my God, look at all that red there. No filters either, guys. But I know that when I was young, dumb, and stupid at one point in time, I would go out and get drunk on Halloween night, and do stupid things because I just did. I just did do it. So anybody out in the chat room right now, do you have any certain, do you have any activities that you do um, for Halloween? Do you get dressed up? Do you hand out candy? What do you do? I'm sure everybody in the room would love to hear it. And don't forget that my show is worldwide now, so we're everywhere, all over the world. So so if you want, I'll share, whatever you want to talk. Do you have a question, anything like that? Feel free to do it in there. Virginia says that she's taken my granddaughter what, trick or treating. Okay. Johnny's going to the witch fest. Cybele is going to make. Yes, my family and I make black and white chili and do a ritual. That's cool. Black and white chili. What? How do you make it black and white, Cybele? How do you do that? Debbie Freeman says, no kids come to my house. We're on a steep hill or on a dead end road. Frater Crow says, Devil's Night every year I do a very elaborate ritual to the devil and his soldiers for another year of prosperity and growth. It's the witch's new year. Yes, it is. And that's pretty cool. Frater, one day I'd like to have you on my show again. And I've had Frater on 2 or 3 times already. And he's a very good guest, very well knowns about it. And maybe we can talk about that further. That would be interesting. See, what's really cool about my show, all right, I am very open minded. I'm like an open book, because I am not here to judge anybody and what they believe in, you know. Um, cool. I'm glad to hear that, buddy. I was thinking about you the other day, Frater. Black beans on navy beans on ground beef and seasoning. That is so cool. Honest to God, I never heard of black and white chili. Does anybody else out there have? Debbie says she'll take some chili, and we have a dumb dinner where we eat dinner on backwards, and that's something new about that. But so that's it for Halloween for me. I remember when I was young, we used to do Devil's Night. October 30th, go out. And we would egg cars and throw toilet paper in the trees and all kinds of mischievous little stuff. And back then you could get away with it. You know what I mean? You could get away with it. Uh, you heard it from the neighbors if they busted you. You know what I mean? If they busted you doing it. And you caught hell from your parents and stuff like that. But you know what? But nowadays, oh my God, you can't do that. No, 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 no. No, you can get arrested. And you know what's crazy about the kids this year, or the people who do stupid stuff? They don't do it for fun. Okay, it's craziness. You have to be careful with all of them dudes out there. They, you know, the pedophiles and stuff like that. The sick people like that. You got to be careful. I remember one time in Halloween. This is a bad part of Halloween. That at one time they actually put razor blades into apples and different types of candy. I don't know if anybody ever experienced that or ever had. Um, but you know what? And we had to get our candy checked all the time. Okay. Whenever they came in, apples, that was too healthy for me. So I don't, I didn't like my apples, so we got rid of the apples. Yeah, but before we got rid of them, because we had possums in our yard, and we would feed them to the possums. But what was crazy is we never found, because we would cut it up to make sure that there was no razor blades in the apples, so the opossums couldn't get hurt. So that's how we worked. That's how we ran with it. But so it's crazy. I'm kind of looking forward to the Christmas. Listen to me. I'm really getting up for Halloween. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. But you know what's the craziest thing? Here's the craziest thing of it all, right? Right now they have Halloween candy out. They put it out like after Labor Day, okay, into the stores. And so after Halloween on November 1st, um, no, people are idiots now. No, wait. Okay, all right. Well, let's get over here to the chat rooms, okay? Um, So Sybil says, Virginia, you're welcome. And Debbie comes back and says, too many cameras in the world now. That is so true. Virginia says, there are crazies out there for sure. Debbie Freeman says, I remember that. And Sliber says, yes, we did have that, Shawn. Yeah. And Virginia says, I almost died on Halloween when I was 9. Choked on a piece of candy, but thank God I'm alive. Yeah. Thank God you're alive. And I am thankful for everybody who is alive, especially my dear friends here in the rooms right now. Um, and Tony says, no people are idiots now. Um, so it's like, I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how it goes. But I know November 1st, November 1st, the Christmas candy's coming out, you know. No, that was, I hope so. That's nice, Virginia. Her mother saved her. That's cool. But come November 1st, being in the customer service in the supermarket, and especially being a meat cutter, then all hell breaks loose because November comes Thanksgiving. That's the turkeys, and then the hams come for Christmas, and then the pork comes for New Year's. Now, I heard that Pittsburgh was the only place where it is, you have to eat pork on January 1st for good luck. It's a tradition here in Pittsburgh. So, and how about out there wherever you live? Is there any other traditions? Is anybody else living somewhere else where they eat pork and sauerkraut? I can't really do the sauerkraut that much. The only way I can do sauerkraut is by having apples inside in the sauerkraut. Has anybody ever had apples in the sauerkraut? I do, and then there's kielbasa or kibasi, however you want to say it. And then you got your homemade, what are they, pierogies. Oh my God. Oh my God. Homemade pierogies are the best. Oh Lord, are they so good. Yeah, I do, Mr. T, Mrs. T. Johnny Freeman says every year. Yep. Yep. Oh, Cybele says, oh, yes, in Hermitage, PA, and Virginia loves pierogies. What kind of pierogies do you like? Do you like the one with the potatoes with sauerkraut in it? Which ones do you like, Virginia? I know that I saw this the other day, and they actually put grape jelly or plum jelly inside. I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen. So Virginia likes potatoes. Johnny makes his own sauerkraut. That's pretty cool. Uh, that's cool. Slava likes cheese and potatoes. But I just like mine with the potatoes, and a lot of butter with onions. Oh yes, gotta have sautéed onions on them bad boys. Oh yeah, definitely. But that's what I feel. Prune ones. That's it, Johnny. Prune ones. Yeah, because I remember them being purple. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Pruned pierogies. I can't see that. That's just not working right. But that's what's going on for Halloween for me. That's how I celebrated. That's how I felt. And that's what I do. And I enjoy it. Saba likes them fried with ranch dressing. And there you go. There you go, Virginia. And add some bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Oh my God. Uh, yeah, just my spidey senses tingle whenever I hear bacon because I just love bacon. But at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, I'm going to take about a minute break. So everybody, or we'll go a minute and a half, however we want to do it. We'll go in a minute and a half so everyone can go up and get something to drink. I'll run to the bathroom really quick. Um, so at 9 o'clock, we're going to go into a break. Okay, we got some more stuff going on here in the chat room. This is a busy chat room. I love this stuff. Okay, Johnny said they used to have them at Catholic schools for lunch. They said they were more of a Danish. Like hell, they're wrong. Johnny, those people were wrong at Danish, please. Oh no, they were potatoes. They're good stuff. Virginia says she was a devil, a cat, flapper, and a witch. Ooh, oh my God. Huh. The devil. I like you, Virginia, but I can't see as a devil. But a cat, yeah. Flapper, definitely. And as a witch, eh, but I bet they were all cute little costumes. But you're too good. That's it. Got a smile out of her. Uh, Cindy Mitch says, amazing chat tonight. Yes, it is, Cindy. These are my friends, and this is great. Okay, brother. That's cool. You were saying what you were told. That's cool. I'm not knocking you, brother. Not at all. But so as you could see under my face here, he says werewolf, witches, vampires, ghouls. Oh my, oh my. So I did some research, and the very first one when I come up, hold on 1 second, was the werewolf. Can anybody tell me what the werewolf's all about? Um, it's pretty interesting. Now, whenever I take notes, I got to read off of my notes. Okay, so if I glance over like this, that's what I'm doing right now. But the werewolf is a staple of supernatural fiction, film, television, and literature. Okay, it is the staple. So, um, and it gets deeper than that, and I will get definitely into. And to me, the best werewolf uh, show was Lon Chaney. I think it was Lon Chaney that did the werewolf. Um, Denise McConnell says, my last Halloween when I went out for candy, I was 11. I wore my brother's Navy uniform. He just came home for a few days before. Ah, that was pretty cool. Cybele says they ate real, just like they ate. They're not real. Is that what you're saying? Just like Bigfoot? Hey, Shawn G, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the room. It's good to see you, pal. All right, this is great. Oh, they are real. Oh, definitely, Sybil. And that's crazy about the werewolves. Because early surviving examples. Okay, I'm gonna have to pick this up and read because it's real hard for me to look in the dark here. But early surviving example man to wolf transformation is found in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and that was written in 2100 BC. Okay, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh was like a poem. I do believe it was a poem. I never got to read the whole thing because it was very, very long. Johnny Freeman says, I haven't worn my last costume yet. Ah, okay. So in 425 BC, Greek historian Herodotus described the Nuri, a nomadic tribe of magical men who changed into wolf shapes for several days of the year. The Nuri were from Scythia land, and that was a part of Russia. So there's got to be something going on there. But you know how Hollywood is now with taking things and just like really really putting it all out there. Um, Johnny being the kilt. Hey, Johnny, I'm going to tell you straight out, kilts are the coolest thing in the world. My cousin has one. The family, uh, whatever you want to call it, the Kelly one. And I'm going to go look for it. In fact, I'll tell you what, I do believe he got that from a friend from Ireland. And he looks good in the kilt too, you know. But whatever you wear underneath, that's all up to you. If you want to make money or not. We talked about that the other day. But the werewolf myth became integrated with the local history of Arcadia, a region in Greece. Zeus, check this out. Zeus was worshipped as the Lycaean Zeus, a wolf Zeus. Huh. Now, okay, Zeus was this big ass god, right? He got the legs for it. That's funny. For the 20, okay. So Virginia was laughing. Sybil says, yes, they are kilts are awesome. My husband wears at all events. Just watch out for the kilt checks. Well, you know what? You can make some money there, Sybil, by saying, okay, $20. What you see, you might see. What you might not, you might not. And Johnny says he has the legs for it. Heck yeah. But yeah, so when I did that research a little bit, Zeus was considered a lichen. It was that's like, and it's not the Zeus that I was taught, you know, through all this stuff. So it just seems like that with this werewolf thing, um, it actually was there. It actually was there. And Plato told a story in the Republic about the protector turned tyrant. Socrates remarks in this little passage, the story goes, and this is in quotes, the story goes that he who tastes of the one bit of human entrails minced up with those of other victims is inevitably turned into a wolf. Is that crazy or what? Who wants to be a werewolf? I mean, think about it. Look at all this hair. If I died, I could be one. Look at all this hair. Like I have so much hair on my face, that I need to. Okay. Sybil says, I'm interested in what you learned about Zeus. Right. You know what? So I really haven't. I mean, I just did this like the other night. I was on it for about an hour, and I have ADHD, so I really can't get into doing research. I need somebody to help me do that. But honestly, I will definitely look into it. You know what I mean? And we'll see if we can have a show on them. Muddy Wad says everyone is going to wear mirrors on their shoes at the Witch Fest. John, huh? Really, Mud? Huh? Huh? Okay. All right. Well, the full moon can affect people who have parasites. What do you mean by that, Virginia? Can you explain that a little bit, please? Okay. I'd appreciate it. So it's just like, hmm. Okay, they're all ganging up on Johnny, man. Johnny's holding on his own, so he's doing pretty good. Now I got your six there, Johnny, just in case. But yeah. But the werewolf movies, well, they had the one where the vampires were fighting the Lycans, stuff like that. And then you have Lon Chaney, the Wolfman, the old one. To me, the old scary movies were the best. Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney, they were the best. So, what is what's everybody's feeling on? Do werewolves actually exist? Do they exist, or is it in the mind of the person who thinks he turns into a wolf? Sybil says yes, they were the best old movies. And then what is it, Friday the 13th, part 69, 70? Um, once you see one slasher, you've seen them all, but you know what, it was crazy. Virginia said it's very common for people who are affected by Lyme disease and other pathogens. They feel sick on full moons or have heightened anxiety. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. Um, and you know what? It's funny because when you talked about the parasites, I saw something on TV or YouTube or something like that about how there's always parasites in the people, but never really kind of knew that the full moon would have some type of, I don't want to say magic, but some type of effect on the parasites in the building, in the person itself. Johnny says, yes, I know people who have actually said they have seen them. Okay, John, that's cool. I want to see one, just like I want to go see a Bigfoot. You know, I hunted ghosts or I investigated ghosts for a very, very long time, a long time. And I know that ghosts are real, and I know spirits are real. They're the same thing, but um, I just I believe they are there. They are around, just like UFOs and aliens. But you know what? I need to see proof. You know. Again, I don't judge. If you show me a picture of a werewolf you caught, or a Bigfoot, or a dog man, whatever you got, I will look at it and I will give you my honest opinion. But there is no way that I would judge a person on, what they think. You have several ghosts in your homes. How many ghosts do you have? And Tony agrees 100%. But yeah, I need to see the proof. Yeah, and when I see the proof, okay. Like I got the proof when I was doing some investigating for the paranormal, and I saw them, I heard them, I talked to them, and that was my proof. So that's what I kind of like to see, what the deal is with the Bigfoot, and we'll see what happens. You know, maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. Um, so yes, of course, Halloween, you got to deal with the ghost. Okay. And that's another reason why Halloween is very important to me, because it gets me really connected to my profession. Bible says that it's different every day. We are never alone. A friend wrote a story about our main spirit. Debbie Freeman, I need to tell you something. And I'm going to tell everybody, and I'm going to let out a secret about me. Okay. I can go into the most demonic house in there. I can deal with a lot of negative spirits. But I'm telling you right now, if you put me in a room full of baby dolls, I'm out. I'm not going in there. Baby dolls scare the living hell out of me. You know, I think they're the most creepiest thing in the world. Okay. That would be dolls and that would be clowns. I don't know if anybody else has that type of thing. Oh, my brother, Johnny, Mud, Pam, hi, Pam. Cybo, Virginia. This is my brother Patrick, man. He calls me Bromeister. Well, if you're trying to sell that doll, don't sell it to me. Okay. Uh, Dolls are really, really creepy. Hey, Patrick, since you're in, is there anything that you would like to share? How do you like Halloween? What do you do? Um, Seriously, don't even show me. Yes, they do, especially when it's a joke. Yeah, how many times you all played a joke on my ass? I remember one time we went down to where in the hell did we go? Prospect Place down in Trimway, Ohio. Don't sell it to him. Honest to God, so I will do not sell it to him. Oh no, 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 no! Don't do it. Don't do it, please. If not, charge him $10,000 for the doll. That's what you need to do. Oh my God, he got. Oh Lord, John, you got a haunted troll doll. Oh wow! But we were down at Prospect Place in Trimley, Ohio, and so everyone knows I hated dolls, right? But so somebody brought a Charlie. What the hell was the name of the doll? Charlie. What's the name of that doll, Johnny? It had Charlie on it. I forget who it was. Um, but they put it in my front seat, in my passenger seat, and oh my God, oh my God, I, 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 I was like, freaking no, no Chucky, um, Charlie something dog. I don't know. It wasn't Chucky. Muddy goes, my yard is decorated with a lot of clowns. Okay, Mud, and I ain't gonna come visit you either. And Sybil says, yeah, I won't do that to you. Thank you. Thank you. Nah, dolls are dolls are not right. Not at all. But yeah, so they do exist. I just want to see proof. I will never doubt anybody. I will never. Charlie McCarthy. That's it. The Charlie McCarthy doll. Yeah, Sue did that. Yeah, she brought it, and Russ put it in the passenger seat. That wasn't cool at all. In fact, I ended up throwing it in the trunk of the car, and it was there for a very very long time until I gave it back. But that was a crazy weekend. But a little bit about my paranormal thing going on here. Like I was saying before, Halloween is very big in the paranormal field. And it just, I really can't, tell you what it feels like. Um, it's like ecstatic. It just takes you there. It's just like an adrenaline rush. Um, to go out and especially with the leaves changing and it's getting cold and you go to a cemetery and just the smell of autumn. Oh my God, it's the best thing in the world, you know. And I really enjoyed investigating during that. But thank you, Sabo. Yes, it is very much so. Um, so and I enjoy it, you know. And you know what? Someone said earlier, that around Halloween, October 31st, the veil thins out, so the spirit world can come into our world. I've come up with this theory, and I really like the theory I have with it. Okay, is that it's not just October 31st anymore. I think the veil has seriously thinned out all year round. What do y'all think about that? You know, tradition tells us that it only happens around October 30th, 31st. But in my experiences and stuff like that, no, I think it's all year round. Seibel says, oh, yes, it is. Yes, it does set a dinner plate for our ancestors. I agree somewhat. Oh, really? Okay, cool. You know, it just seems like whenever there is some tragic stuff going on out in the world right now, okay, honestly, it just seems that the the spirits like to, get real uptight and crazy and do so. Okay, and Johnny says, I now, in my experience, it has. Um, so I just think that you know the veil thinning. They're active all the time, Sidle. Honest to Pete, so that's why I really believe that that the veil is totally thinned out um, all year round. You know, um, and you know what? That's okay. You know what I mean? Keeps the paranormal groups kind of busy, and maybe be sitting in a room or and you look up and you see like an ancestor that you have known who have passed away, and they're looking at you, you know, or you're sitting around and you smell coffee, or you smell a certain brand of tobacco, or the big ones, especially when it comes to grandmas and great grandmas, are the Jean de perfume, you know. Yes, it does keep us busy, Johnny, very much so, you know. But it's funny going into an investigation to investigate a person's house, and all of a sudden you walk in and you just get this deep smell of Jean Nete perfume. It reeks. But yeah, so and I'm sure that okay, Sabo says, oh yes, I agree. My house has new spirits every day. I set boundaries, but I have spirits jump me all the time. Your Grammy cooks every day in the kitchen. Okay, yeah. Um, thank you. Thank you, Sabo. Appreciate that. Definitely. The grannies do. I if it's food, like my mom's been experienced barbecue now, and it's like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's nobody out cooking barbecue at 2 in the morning. And so, however it is, the coffee, like my father, when he's around all the time, you can smell the coffee brewing, or right where I sit. And you know what? That's okay. You know, my biggest thing, and this is kind of crazy, everybody, right? Now, I have investigated for over 30 years. I've been in the field for over 30. And I always wanted to try to find my father, or have my father come to me, but he never did. Never, ever, ever did. Okay. And it really bugged the crap out of me, because I am a sensitive, I am an empath, and I do talk to spirits. I do. And I'm okay with it. But it never seemed like that I could get a hold of my father. And for the longest time, I thought that he was like saying, Shawn, you're being weird chasing ghosts, and yeah, that's crazy. And then one night I was sitting. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. Yeah, he was a good dude. My father was a good man. He died when he was 52. I was, what, 26 at the time when he died. And he was a good person. And so I started smelling the coffee and smelling the cigarettes. around me, and then I kind of knew it was him. Seibel, that's okay. He died of cancer at 52. But you know what? I look at death, and I don't know how anybody else feels about it. But thank you, Virginia. I needed that. Thank you. But this is how I look at death. I look at death like it's a rebirth. Okay. Because if you look at it, okay, when you die, your spirit leaves your body, and all this is all right here, the face, the ears, the cheeks, whatever, it's just a shell. But your spirit lives within. And so when you die, your shell dies. Your shell's no longer there, right? And your spirit moves on. And so the people are not in pain anymore. You know what I mean? They can walk around. And be happy, be with family. Seibel says, yes, it's rebirth. You're absolutely right. I truly believe that. Yes, a vessel for your soul. But everybody reads the tarot deck, right? Okay, and everyone comes up with the death card, and to me that's not a bad card. It's just a rebirth happening in your time going on right now. I know that. Yeah, I really look, because I was 26 years old when my father passed away, and I'm really looking forward to the day when I pass and my spirit meets my father, and then we can talk. That's all I want, was talk. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure it's going to happen one day. I just don't know when. It's true, Johnny. Energy does not die, not at all. But one day it's going to happen, and I'm okay with it. But everything, I keep telling myself, everything is going to be okay. We are coming up close to the 9 o'clock hour, at the top of the hour, and so what we're going to do is at 9 o'clock, I'm going to run a couple commercials about L. Ron Hubbard and the books, and then we'll get back and continue the show. Is there anybody out there right now that has any questions that they would like to ask? They could ask me or ask somebody into the chat room, or anybody out in the world who is definitely listening. That would be pretty cool. If you can. If you don't, that's okay. If you need, like I said, 9 o'clock, we're going to go and we'll do talk about my sponsors when we come back. And I think it's going to be okay. And you know what? It is 8:58 p.m. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to do our commercials. So I'll see you in 2 minutes. Okay? Get to the commercial there. Okay, where are we at? Here we go.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. From 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
No.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full color illustrations, plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPR on discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Okay, so I hope everybody, got to go to the bathroom or get something to drink, relax. And now this is end of the first. Pens up 1-0. Thanks, Gary. Virginia says, great show. Johnny Freeman says, we got stories on clearing homes. And Seibel says, yes, Johnny Freeman, we do. Excuse me. But no, I don't have COVID. But I need to thank my sponsor for the show for the second hour, Carnation. Thank you, Carnation, for sponsoring my show. I forgot to do that last week, and I'm totally sorry. I know I forgot to do it. But I also want to thank this platform I'm on, UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. Joe Montaldo, he has the Centralist on Wednesday night and News on the Flip Side on Friday nights. And he is like the owner of the place. And then we got Michelle, who does the Outer Realm on is that Wednesday night? I don't know. She can get mad at me because I kind of forget. Then you got the Angel Rock, Lorelei Pup, and she comes in on Monday nights. And then you got the Horsefly Chronicles on Monday nights. Monday nights is a very good night to listen to UPRN Talk Radio. But we have a lot of good shows on here. We got a lot of good hosts, and they come on with some very interesting guests. They're very well known guests, and you learn a lot. And I've been with UPR, and I think I'm coming. I don't know if it's 4 years or 5 years. I don't know, but I have experienced a lot of knowledge through all these people. So it's a good people. It's some real good people. So this is the second hour of Into the Night with Shawn Kelly. So does anybody have any questions out there that they like to say? Is there anybody out there that wants to talk about any kind of subject that they'd like to talk about? As you know, we were talking about werewolves. I did a little study on ghouls. That's Ghouls. Okay. And a ghoul, the definition of a ghoul is an evil spirit or phantom that robs graves and feeds on dead bodies. Also, a person morbidly interested in death or disaster. Okay. I'm not interested in death, but I do investigate death. Okay, people who died. Does that make me a ghoul? No, it don't make me a ghoul. I think ghouls, I have a name for. I want to say zombies is the way I look at it. Who believes in zombies? Anybody out there? But a ghoul is said to be created on the death of a man or woman who savored the taste of flesh. Ghouls can paralyze their victims with a touch of their hand. I dealt a lot with cemeteries. Did you really? What did you do in the cemeteries, Bible? Did you investigate them? Did you just go up and do things? Cemeteries, to me, are the best place to go for an investigation. But if you do go on an investigation in the cemetery, please, 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 I say, please go and get permission first. Okay. I know the Catholic cemeteries here in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania, they're all open gated. So you can just like walk through, go right into the cemetery, investigate. But you have to be careful because if somebody sees a bunch of people out in the cemetery with flashlights and with video or, cameras going off, they're going to call the police, So you don't want to do that. Just get permission first. The myth of the ghoul. I gotta read like this again. The myth of the ghoul is a cannibalistic monsters of the thought of as an undead in European folklore. Hunger is a ghoul's primary motivator. This hunger is constant, never rising or falling, and only ceasing during the actual feasting of flesh. Ghouls can live over 200 years. Whoa. They live. They can outlive humans. They are sterile, so they can't reproduce other ghouls. And the only way to get rid of the ghoul is to destroy it. So, like I said before, so to me, zombies are ghouls. So, what do y'all think of that? What do you think of ghouls? Yes, the investigation on the graveyard dirt. Oh, okay. Yes, I leave 10 dimes for ghosts in charge of cemetery and spirits. That's pretty interesting. Thank you very much, Virginia, for telling me it was a good show. It is a good show, especially when I got good people in the rooms like this. Here, showing me support, and I'm definitely going to show them support. I don't know, zombies. I guess Pittsburgh is the main zombie. Uh, I'm blushing again. I'm blushing again. Um, Man, I don't know about that, but you make me blush. But Pittsburgh is like the biggest zombie deal started creator, the Night of the Living Dead. Okay, I don't know. That is one zombie film I will watch. But I look at the other zombie flicks. People were zombies like eating bath salts. You know what, Virginia? That's true. I've seen some stuff on that. Um, yes, I do remember that very much. That was crazy. I remember it happened. I think down in Florida where this dude was like eating this guy's face, and I mean the police shot at him like 3 or 4 times, and he wouldn't die. Yeah, but I haven't seen that I haven't seen that in the news lately. So I don't know if they took bath salts off the shelves or whatever. But I know that was like really kind of scary. And even the drugs out there nowadays, they have stuff that can really make you be like a zombie. I know, and I think it's the voodoo or the hoodoo religion. They have pufferfish in which they can get some kind of stuff or grind them up, and they can make people be zombies too. So, but back to the Night of the Living Dead, I have actually investigated the um, the cemetery in which that movie was filmed in, and walking in it, it was just like the most creepiest feeling, just investigating that cemetery. Because when I walked in, it just took me back to the memories of the show, of us watching that show. So I don't know. So to me, I think a ghoul's a zombie. Christopher James, yes, bath salts were involved with that. Zombie man in Florida, yes. Hi, Christopher James. Good to see you. Virginia says Jeffrey Dahmer made one of his victims a zombie. Oh, that's crazy. Oh my God. Now that was a deranged dude, man. And that comes up to my question. You know, what makes people act like that? What actually makes people evil, to do evil things? What's it all about? Is it out of curiosity? And I'm being serious when I talk about this. I want to know what makes people so mean and evil. Cybele thinks that they are born that way. Virginia says it's the perfect storm, yes. Oh, they are. They hate born on negative energy. Okay. I mean, it just, I think it just, it like, it's mind boggling to be honest with you. Cannibalism, yes, Christopher James. It's crazy. What makes people be like that? That they can do something really, really crazy and sickening just to destroy other people and other people's families. But I asked my mom this question tonight before I came on the show, and I asked her. I said, "If God is a loving, caring person, why is all this hatred going on? Why is all this killing? Why all the pedophiles? Why all this nastiness going on?" So she came back and said that he gave everybody free will. Johnny says we do a lot of counseling work. It's bad energy. Virginia says people can start out very innocent and become very dark. And I've seen a lot of people like that. Hey, Squatch man, good to see you, pal. All right. That's exactly, Chris, free will. And I don't like this free will. You know what I mean? So who's the culprit? Who's actually getting into these people's minds saying, okay, I want you to be evil? Do you believe people are born evil? Listen. Kason Lee says it's trippy to see him talking to his family like he did nothing. Totally level headed man in the daylight. Incredible. Yes, absolutely. What makes him switch? Virginia, you say that there's purpose even the darkness. But what I can't wrap my mind around, everybody, is that what's the purpose for? Why? Johnny says I have seen people change one bad energy is chased away. I've seen that too. I've seen people who had negative energy for some reason. Something happens, they find God or other people help them to get rid of that negative energy. I just don't like it. And that's me. I don't like it. People are supposed to be helping people. Virginia says, helps us to see the light having seen the darkness. I believe that, Virginia, very much so. Because in my life, I have seen a ton of darkness. A ton of darkness. Kason says, I think the guy is bipolar. Okay. Johnny Freeman says, yes, it happened, Cybele, and I cleared a house. Well, not get personal. My stepdad was very evil and died that way. And I'm sorry that happened to you, Cybele, but it just blows me away how there could be all this evil out there. Is the devil or not the devil, bad entities out there just causing this shit? Or is it done by choice? I don't know. I don't know. And maybe one day we'll find out what happens to a person who goes through that kind of stuff. That is psychopathic, and it just gives me chills all over the place with it. maybe it's like I'm living in a world to where a dream world where I just want everything to be perfect. But my question to you though is, what would the world be like if everything was perfect? Can you answer that? If there was just a perfect world. Virginia says, "Oh, Kason says I like his answers." Kason says, "It's karmic debt, maybe a possibility." Virginia says they ate more susceptible if they ate, drinking, or on drugs. True, true. But what would the world be like today if everything was so happy? That would I don't think would I think it would be a boring life, to be honest with you, a very boring life. Um, I don't know, and maybe you do need a little bit of the negative energy out there in the world in order to balance out the good. But you know what? Right now, it just seems like the negative just took over the whole good energies. And and what really is, to me, is the really big thing that I'm dealing with is actually powerlessness. Okay, totally powerlessness because there's nothing out there. There's a lot of things out there um, that I have to not take control of situations. It's hard for me to sit back and watch negative things happen. Okay, and there's nothing I can do about it to help the person or help the situation. There's nothing I can do about it, and that bugs the shit out of me because I want to, you know. But I don't know. I don't know. So back to Halloween. I don't know. Not Halloween. Whatever we want to talk about, because that's one thing nice about my shows. We could start on one topic and end up going on other like two or three others. My chat room, thank you guys very much for participating in it tonight. I really do. This is like I'm very very happy. Thank you. Like we said earlier, all the people in the chat room right now, just a bunch of good energies. You know. Let's see. We got a lot of going on here. Seibel says you can't have light and darkness without studying for balance. That's true. And Johnny says, I am up and never rest, trying to help everyone. And that's great to hear, Johnny. But don't you think that? And at one point in time, I was there doing the same thing. But I know is that it just took it just like wore me out, dude. Helping everybody just helped me out, and I used to get mad because it seems like everything would be going okay. I did what I had to do, clear the house, help that person, whatever. And all of a sudden, it's back again. And I'm going to tell you a story real quick here. Kay Son Lee says, yes, it's yin and yang. There's nothing called all good. There must be bad energy to have good energy. And I believe that. I believe that tremendously. I really do. But I wish the bad energy wouldn't be so damn bad, you know? That's the only thing I wish for. That I hope, but I know that's never going to come. And the sad thing, everybody, is that it, it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Now, my question to everybody out there is that when you die and you're out there in spirit realm, is it the same as it's going on here in the world? What would your ancestors think of what's going on around you? I keep saying this all the time to people. I'm like, you know what? If you went up to go where George Washington was buried, and at his grave, and you turned on the EVP, what would you think that George Washington would say about what's going on in the world today? I bet him, Thomas Jefferson, Grant, they're all turning over in their graves. You know, what for? Cason says, well, it's the cosmic play, sir. Anything is possible. Virginia says people who have had NDE have said they experience a life review. Oh, okay. Seibel says, no, LOL. My answers are going crazy around this shit show, but I'm doing what my granny did. That's cool. You know, you talk about the near-death experiences, and I like to touch on that a little bit. Back in 1983, I was in the United States Navy, and I was stationed in Diego Garcia. And at that time, our ship was in Diego Garcia, and at that time, I was taking a drug called antabuse. Okay, and the antabuse is supposed to wean you off alcohol. In fact, you can die if you drink alcohol, or I mean, you couldn't use no alcoholic mouthwash. You couldn't use nothing alcoholic because it could make you very sick. And so one day, I went down to get my drug, my antabuse, and the guy who distributed it to me wasn't there. So I got depressed, got mad. I said, I'll show you. Now, remember, I've had this drug in my system for over a year now. Okay. And so that afternoon, I went off the ship onto the island, and I bought a fifth of Jack Daniels, and I drank it. I drank Jack Daniels, a whole bottle of it, on this antabuse. And by the time I got back to the ship, I was pronounced dead on arrival up there in the core room or in the medical room. And when I awoke, well, let me step back a minute. What happened was when I had that near-death experience, I didn't see no light. I didn't see my ancestors. I didn't see my family. What I saw was gray, dark, blank. Close to death, not dead. Well, okay, I just go by what the doctor said there, John. But I knows that it wasn't happy, and eventually, okay, I see where you're getting at with that, bud. I see where you're getting with that. That's okay. But it wasn't pleasant. There was no happiness. Pure dark, pure negative, dark energies. And when I came through and I awoke, I started to see things, hear things, and feel things that weren't there. And that's when I found out that my old spirit left and a new one jumped in. And I started to see things, hear things, and feel things that weren't there. And trust me, I was going crazy over that situation. I would go to a rabbi, I'd go to a Baptist minister, whatever, Catholic. I said, why am I seeing dead people? Why am I seeing something that's there? Why am I hearing this people and they're not there? And you know what? They never had an answer for me, you know. Johnny says he had a friend and he said total evil he's seen. I'll bet you double evil is down there with me too, John. I don't know. But it was really totally seriously crazy about. Virginia says that I came back with an ability. Well, look, I did, Virginia. But at the time, I was only what 21, 22 years old. It was just like something that I wasn't used to. And when I found out was back in 1985, when I got out of the service, I stayed in Florida, and I had two really good friends down there who were psychic people, and I explained to them what the hell was going on, and they sat me down, and they told me, when you died, your old spirit left, and the new one popped in, which kind of like made your energies really, more seeable, and it was crazy because when that happened, we got a lot going on here. Kason says the funny thing about NDEs, that happy experience happens only to religious or non-religious spiritual people. It's all in the mind, I think. Virginia says, I tasted death, yes. Hey, Doreen, how are you? Good to see you, hon. Welcome to the show. Cyber says, yes, it's true. I did taste death. I did. But, you hear about everything happens for a reason, and maybe that reason was for me to do that situation. I don't know. There's no general consensus about it, why that happened. But you know what? It got me into a lot of things that I never experienced. Back to what I was saying, when that happened to me, I had a real hard time remembering my childhood. Okay, I had a real hard time doing with that. It was very faint. There was nothing there that I remember. The only stuff that I actually remembered was after that situation happened. I can say today that every now and then, right, there are things that pop up, and I start to see the back my past, and I'm thinking, I look at it, and let me ask anybody who ever experienced this. When you see something that you did about 20, 25 years ago and you knew it was stupid, did you say out loud, like, oh shit, did I really? I'm like, oh my God, shaking my head. Has anybody ever done that? Because I do it all the time. I'm thinking, oh my God, what other stupid things that I did in my past? But you know what? That's okay. Past is the past. It's done. Virginia says it's changed your outlook, seeing life through a different lens. Yes, it has. Thank you for that, Virginia. Appreciate that. So it's like, okay. So it's like, why me? Why did I do that? Oh my God, that's craziness. That's craziness. It's getting close to the time where I want to talk about the stuff that's happening in Israel right now, and my feelings on it. So what I'm going to do, and I do after every reading, after every show or before the show ends, first of all, I want to thank everybody for listening. Oh, Kason says, the Buddhist encounter, the Buddha and Christians meet Jesus. It's not constant. Okay, thank you, Dan. Virginia, thank you again. So this has been a great show. A lot of great people in here tonight. My gosh, I'm like so happy. I'm so happy now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want. This is what I guess I prayed for, and I got it tonight with all these beautiful, wonderful people in the rooms. Honestly, in the chat rooms tonight, it was pretty cool. So, what I do after my shows, or before my show ends, I read the medicine cards, the animal medicine cards, and what I do is that I pick out 3 cards. Okay. It's been a great show, brother. Thank you, Johnny. Night, husband, home. Oh, you're okay. Thank you, Virginia. Appreciate it. I really don't do readings that much, Johnny. I really don't, but I know Johnny Freeman does, and I know Virginia does, and if you can do it, if they're up to it, maybe you can talk to one of them on it. Um, so these are the three cards. It's the medicine cards, the animal medicine cards, and I'm going to draw three: one for your past, one for the now, and one for the future. So if you can, I would like you to, write these down. And maybe this little three card spread is meant for you today, or maybe it's not. Who knows? So here I'm going to go with it. And I'll talk a little bit more about it. Maybe I might not get into Israel, maybe for a little bit. But okay, so I shuffled the cards. And what you need to do, okay, is to get a piece of paper if you can remember it. I'll pray for you, Kason. I will definitely pray for you, dude. Trust me. And everybody in here will pray for you too. And anybody out there in the world who's listening to the show tonight, please pray for Kason because he really needs help, and prayers work. I'm telling you, prayers do work. Um, thank you, Cindy Mitch. Appreciate it. So everybody, please, write these down. And then whenever it's done and after the show is over with, go and Google the animal totem, why this spread came out. And you're welcome, Kason. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Johnny, for praying. So your past animal, the card I'm going to draw is your past. And that is the buffalo. Okay? Ooh, can you see it? The buffalo. That's your past card. Your now card, which is happening today, is the mouse. Ooh, can we get it there? The artwork on these cards are awesome. And this is your future card, the horse. Woo, where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, I lost me. Ah, my ghost. This is the horse. Okay. So we had the buffalo in the past. We had the mouse for the now. And the horse for the future. Okay. I'm slowly but slowly learning the different meanings behind the cards. So, like I said, after the show tonight, go ahead, Google buffalo animal totem, spirit animal, and it will tell you what the buffalo is all about. And remember, that's your past card. And then do the same thing with the mouse and do the same thing with the horse. Okay. And if you'd like to share it with everybody next week, that would be awesome. That would be great. I know I'm going to look at them after I get done. See, I got the book, so I don't have to kind of Google it and nothing like that. Animals are really important to me. Okay. In fact, I'll tell you what was crazy. The animal, the crow, has been following me, or the raven. It's the raven has been following me. You're welcome, Virginia. Lanigan? Is that how you pronounce it? Lanigan? The crows have been following me for a very long time. And I had a bad morning waking up while going to work. That's cool. I got her name right. I'm not really good at pronunciations. But I had a crow, and they've been with me for close to 6 months now. But today, whenever I would meet the crows, they would be all, talking and making weird noises and stuff like that. And it was like them saying hello to me. Okay. All right, Mandy, I'll be getting to you soon. But today was a different deal. Okay. The different deal with the Ravens today, they weren't really chatty at all. They were quiet. And when I was walking to my truck, okay, they all looked at me. All four of them did. And I'm like, oh, hell, what's going on tonight? What's going on today? Because they weren't chatty. They usually are chatty. And so if you excuse me when I stutter a little bit, it's because I'm getting messages that pop up on my computer. So, but animals are really important to me. If I can make a suggestion to everybody, when you're out and about, doing your errands or whatever, and you come across an animal, okay, um, write that animal down. Okay, it could be a rabbit, it could be a bear. Oh my God, this person just keeps messaging me, and she knows I have a show. But you know what? I'm not angry at that. I'm glad you do, Virginia. I'm glad you do. Okay, and I'm not mad at my friend Mandy for sending me all these messages. I'm not. I'm not. Because maybe, like I said, I'm here to help people too. But so if you're walking around or you're out on your errands, and you see an animal, a bird, a rabbit, a bear, a deer, whatever, write it down and go home and look into it, and you'll see and understand why those animals were. Oh, Johnny says he goes through it on his lives. Okay. Um, and then you'll be surprised at the answer that you will get at all the animals that have um, come into your life that day. Yeah, it's really cool. You know, animal medicine is really big for me. You know, there's a good book out there if you really want to get more into the meanings behind the animal spirits. There is a book out there called, yes, insects too, Tamara. Definitely. Absolutely. And if you go and look up Ted Andrews, okay, if you look up Ted Andrews, he's an author, and his book is called Animals Speak and Animals Speak Too, which includes the insects. Yes. And it's a very, very good book. It's a huge book. It's a big book, but it tells you everything about that spirit, that animal, you know, that you see that day. And I mean, he's got a lot of them, a lot of them. And then you got the animal oracle decks. See, I buy the decks, but I don't use them because I like to listen and read the meanings behind the oracles. I like to read the books on them and what the definitions mean on that. So um, I'm going to keep this real short. Okay. Um, what happened 3 or 4 days ago was not good at all. It definitely pure evil over there. What happened, and it didn't shake me to the core, but it made me sit back and try to understand what is life all about. And that's why I brought up, you know, how there are bad people out there, and it's just so sickening. I don't know if people have read the news on it, and all the bad crap that happened that day, but it's just not right. I mean, killing people for just killing people and doing other things, which I will not say on my show. Okay. Um, I just think there's just so much at hand right now that all I can do is pray for the people of Israel and Palestine. And what I mean by the people of Palestine, not Hamas, the terrorist group, I will not pray for them, but I will pray for the Palestine people who got caught in the middle of all this big war that's going on over there. And I pray for the hostages, and I pray for everybody over there. And I think, in your heart, if you can mention like a little prayer of some sort of people protecting people. Thank you, Johnny. Pray for them. Last night, I remember before I went to bed, I looked at God and I said, Liz, is there any way that you can stop this madness that's going on over there? And it just started. And God only knows, with all the illegals that came in, you know, and they're talking about sleeper cells, and we have to watch out for ourselves. It was never like this when I grew up. And now, with everybody wanting to have power, everybody who has a ego really turned this whole country apart, the whole world apart. Death to America, death to Israel. When you hear people that are in the United States saying that, death to America, and they're citizens of the United States. And these people are so damn brainwashed, they don't know what the hell is going on over there. You just look at that and you just cry. It's like, how in the hell can you be here and do this and say this when we've given you everything in order for you to go to school, in order for you to get a good job, the whole 9 yards. But then again, you want to spit on us. It's not right. It's not right. And you know how they say, Virginia says these people are misguided from an early age, taught to hate. And that's true, Virginia. And that's true. Okay. But one day you're going to have to finally meet your God or your Allah, whoever you're going to meet. And then he's going to be able to judge you and tell you what a dumbass thing you did. And it's just not the Palestinians, it's everybody in the world. Okay, it's everybody. Ukraine, Russia, China, USA, all over. Just because a couple people wanted to be rich and cause a lot of trouble. It's effed up. It really is. It's effed up. This world should not be like this. Countries should not be like this. Over what? They want to kill Jews. Is what they wanted to do. And that's Hamas. And everybody knows Hamas is a terroristic group. It's bullshit. And one day they're gonna have a come to Jesus moment. And when they go to Jesus or whoever they believe in, I swear to whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Hey, Case. Okay, good night, sir. Gotta go. This is a podcast with good vibes. All the best from Sri Lanka. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for being on. So that's my rant for today. That's my rant. And I'm sorry if I depressed anybody like that, but I really had to let it go. I had to get it off my chest. And I do that. And I'm not afraid to tell how I'm not afraid to say what I want to say. But all I know is that I had the crazy thing is the terrorists get funded. Yeah, Virginia, they do. They do. And I'm not even going, if you want me to hear about that, come on Friday night and listen to the show, Joe, because I'm on his show every now and then, and we talk about politics. And, I mean, if you want to come on Friday night or listen on Friday night, it's called News on the Flip Side. We're there. And that's when I can unleash my political demons, and nobody is going to judge me on that. But it is 9:45. I got about 5 minutes left of my show. I want to thank everybody for being on tonight. It was great. Yes, it is a hard thing to see, Virginia. It is a hard thing to see, but it's crazy. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from, from the news or the media or whatever. No, your voice is like listening to asthma. Okay, okay. Keep it up later. All right, brother. Thank you. Asthma. That's no, I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, they are being murdered in Virginia, and other nasty things. It's not right. But we'll see what happens. You know, all I can do for me, asthma. Okay, thank Bud. I'm going to look that up. All right. Thank you, sir. It's good to see you again, Kason. It really is. Thank you. Um, but it's good. It's going to. All I can do for me is pray about it and pray for the people that this is affecting. And when I do say my prayers, and I do say my prayers, okay, that's the biggie right there, Virginia. He lives. God is in control. And what I learned a long time ago when I first got sober, back in January 21st, 1991 is my sobriety date. Um, give it to your higher power, give it to God. And that's what I do. And that's all I can do, you know. Um, but again, I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. Johnny, Virginia, Kason, Cybele, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a very enjoyable show. Um, it was great. And before I sign off, where are we at? Okay. I all I talk about mental health little bit, not a lot, but a little. And if you see somebody out there that is having a hard time, a real hard time, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Virginia. But if you see anybody out there having a hard time, and what you need to do, if you want to do it, but if they're having a hard time, go and sit with them. You don't have to talk. Let them do the talking. And if there's somebody that looks like they want to talk, listen to them. Listen. And if you want to give advice, God, give advice. Because I totally believe that there are angels on earth as humans. And I'll tell you a story another day on that one. But Muddy says, fantastic show. Thank you. Prayers for everyone. Mostly been listening tonight because I have been working. I hope you're not working hard, Mud. Honest to God, I hope you're not. But thank you for the nice compliment. Thank you. This is great. It gives me good chills. But so everybody, if you see somebody hurting, okay, so you see somebody hurting, do what you can to make that person feel better. Okay? Because I try. And there were a lot of times, there was times where I was really bad. And you know it's crazy? God sends people into my life for certain reasons. If it's just for an hour, if it's for 30 minutes, or if it was just for 30 seconds, I know God sent me an angel. And I believe that. I believe it. So, children, please, what I'd like you to do, children, is to go to your parents and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you don't have no children, find a friend. Find a friend to hug and tell them you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long, long way. And again, I want to thank everybody for being in the chat room and listening worldwide. Remember that my show Into the Night is on every Tuesdays from 8 to 10. p.m. And October 21st, mark this down on your calendar, I'm going to have Johnny Freeman and Virginia Lanigan on my show. It's a Saturday night. It's a special show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on October 21st. Okay. And remember, October 31st, which is a Tuesday night, which is Halloween night, we're going to have a big Halloween show. And what it's going to do is going to merge in with my hours. So you actually, if you tune in, okay, if you tune in, you're going to see all the hosts on UPRN Talk Radio talk about Halloween. Okay. And on that note, good night, everybody. Looking forward to having you and Johnny as well, Virginia. And on that note, good night, everybody. See you next Tuesday. And give everybody a hug. Good night.